Did you know drawing a super fun fish can be this easy? In less than 30 minutes, I will take you through the entire process. Just a quick note about the tech stuff. I'm using a Procreate app, but you can use whatever you like. The canvas size is 9 by 9 inches and 340 dpi. For more details and other info, check the description below the video. We will start with the sketch. If it feels tricky to draw on the blank page, you can grab my outline to make things easier. If you are working in Procreate, I also have stamps with this fish sketch that are super helpful to follow with ease. I also create another stamp set. This one isn't just a sketch, but a full illustrations. It includes 6 fish in both sketch and complete form. They are really fun to use and great for practice, and they are waiting on my Patreon. So let's get sketching. Don't worry about making it perfect. This part won't be in your final drawing. Give it a try, and if you struggle, use my sketch directly as a guideline here. I want this fish to feel almost like a ball with a super tiny tail. And super big eye. And a mini side fin. Feel free to erase or redraw any parts you like. This will be your guideline for drawing in color, so take your time. I think it will be super fun to make the main fin really huge and in a playful shape. You can also use the arrow tool to move your sketch around if needed. Okay, the sketch is done, let's move to the coloring. Create a new layer and move it under the sketch layer. Using blue color and white charcoal from the charcoal group, draw a simple background. Use the big size of the brush. I like this texture. And also brighter blue. It's a good idea to name your layers. Now tap on the N here and lower the opacity of your sketch. Create a new layer below for the body. Select a bold purple color. If you want to use the very same colors, find my color palettes on Patreon. Select a medium airbrush from the airbrushing group. Draw along your sketch. Hold your pen a bit on the screen to get a more precise shape. I will show you a different way of flat coloring compared to my other fish tutorials, so you can learn more techniques. First, make sure to fix all the gaps, then you can simply drag the color inside the shape. Sometimes there might be small empty lines around. If that happens, try it again and drag your pen slightly to the right. It usually helps. Create a new layer below for fin. Pick a darker purple. Color fin and tail. You can use a bigger size of brush. I want to make the background brighter here. Now create a new layer above the body and tap on the clipping mask. Select the black color and medium airbrush. Maybe rather dark violet. Draw a shade here. Lower the opacity and soften it with an eraser with the same brush. Create a new layer above for this line here. Using a noise brush from the materials group, my favorite one. Draw a line. Then soften it with an eraser. Keep it very gentle, just a hint. Turn off the sketch and tap on the body layer. Use the eraser on a tiny part. Just indicate where the head separates from the body, how it makes sense to you. Now turn on the sketch and create a new layer under the shading. Select a bright pink and from the texture group, use brush grunge. Draw a gentle texture on a body part. Erase on the head if needed. We try to play a bit here. Create another layer above. Draw some dots or spots or use a spot brush from my Patreon. Select a white color. Slide the layer to the left and duplicate it. Tap on the bottom one. Then tap on the magic wand and the very first option. Here, lower the brightness. Tap on the arrow tool and move with the dark dots slightly to the left. Play with the placement, this is a nice texture effect. Merge those spot layers and use the magic wand, here liquefy, and push option, move with the dots to create a rounded look. I use this tool a lot, really helpful. Turn off the sketch and create a new layer under the sketch. Tap on the clipping mask. Select the noise brush and draw highlights on both sides here. Turn on the sketch. Create another layer above, clipping mask. Draw a smile. Turn off the sketch if it's better for you and keep drawing. Fix with an eraser if needed. Feel free to make any adjustments along the way. I want to change the main shape here. Okay, now create a new layer on the top and select the dark color. Draw a shade around the smile. Fix it with an eraser. We want to create a rounded look. Using a stronger shade and then erasing allows you to have better control over the final results. Create a new layer below for another shading. Turn on the sketch. We are going to draw an eye. Create a new layer below the sketch. Select white color and a medium airbrush. Draw a precise shape. For shading, create a new layer below the eye and use the black color. We want to create an effect that the eye is partially inside the head. Turn off the sketch if needed and use an eraser to soften the shade. Switch to the noise brush for more details. Lower slightly the opacity. Create a new layer below and select bright pink. Draw highlights here. Don't forget to tap on the clipping mask so your drawing stays just in the shape. Create a new layer above and draw with white. Shading and highlights help give your drawing a rounded look. Tap on the N and choose Add option, then lower the opacity. Use the smudge tool with the wine charcoal brush and blend it slightly. Now we will add shading inside the eye in a new layer above. Select the very soft pink and medium airbrush. Maybe also with a dark blue. And black on the very edge. In a new layer above, draw a pupil. Fix the size and placement using a row tool. Create a new layer, tap on the clipping mask. Pick a nice blue color and the noise brush. Draw an iris. Also with brighter blue and a smaller size of brush. And white with even smaller brush. If you have fun so far, check out my other fish tutorials. Create a new layer above and switch brush to medium airbrush. Draw white dots here. The second one just tiny. And with the big size of brush, add a bit of light into the eye. Back to the smile, find the right layer. Create a new one above and draw the rounded line here. Fix it with an eraser. I know I use a lot of layers, but it helps me work on each detail separately and make any adjustments easily, without affecting something else. So I recommend using as many layers as you can. Create a new layer on the very top, tap clipping mask. Using the noise brush, draw some details here. And everywhere else you need. Really pay attention to those details. Now continue with the bright pink. Feel free to remove or erase any part you don't like. Turn on the sketch and create a new layer below the sketch for the side fin. Pick dark color and medium airbrush. Turn off the sketch and keep drawing. Create a new layer above, select the bright pink and the noise brush. Draw a few lines here. Using an eraser, make the fin a bit transparent. Go under the fin and create here a new layer for shading using black and medium airbrush. Lower the opacity. Fix the main shape if needed. Create a new layer above the fin, tap clipping mask. Draw a bright highlight. Maybe rather with the noise brush. Those two are my favorite brushes, medium airbrush for shading and noise brush for details and highlights. Now the main fin, create a new layer about this one. Tap on the clipping mask. Using brighter pink and the noise brush with a bigger size, add a bit of light here. Also on the tail. And also use even brighter pink and maybe a smaller size. There on the edges. In the new layer above, draw with black a few lines. And also bright lines. Create a new layer below and draw a bit of shade here. Tap on the main fin shape, use an eraser to make it a bit transparent. This is an amazing effect, especially if you put something behind the fish like bubbles or sea plants. Create a new layer on the very top. Select the bright pink and make the final round of highlights. Almost done, so be precise. Tap on the end and select the Add option. Lower the opacity and fix if needed. Perfect! If you want to learn how to draw bubbles, check out my tutorial on Patreon, where I will show you 3 different ways of drawing, and also plenty of other tutorials, brushes, Procreate tips, freebies, and much more. Let me know how it went and share your creation. Tag me, I can't wait to see it. See you next time!